Nintendo has been solo in the handheld space for a while now, but today that officially comes to an end, and at half the price. It's a weird situation. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We're talking all about Sony's new handheld and how it's just strange, but it does give us a glimpse into what might happen for Nintendo. And at half the price of the expected retail release for the next Nintendo console, is anyone going to buy this, or are its drawbacks far too significant? What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. I find this fascinating because it's somebody else in the major gaming platform space trying to get a piece of the Switch pie, albeit in a kind of poorly thought out way. The PlayStation Portal has been officially shown off today, and frankly, I really like the name. I think that's a fantastic name. It's $199, which puts it at about half the price of the expected MSRP of the Switch 2, which I think we all know is going to be $399.99. Like, I just really can't see them going with any other price. Now, the current Switch OLED is $350, so this is less than that, but not exactly half, and it's the exact price of the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, this is a Sony handheld, which literally takes a DualSense controller, rips it in half, and shoves an 8-inch screen in the middle. Now, 8 inches is the rumored size of the Switch 2 screen, so this is an interesting proposition. This makes it bigger than the Switch OLED, makes it bigger than the Steam Deck, makes it bigger than the ROG Ally. It is a big screen, and the controls are like the actual nice controller controls, complete with adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, things that the Switch does not compare to. But let's drop the hammer. This thing can't leave your house, and it requires another console. The PlayStation Portal is a brilliant idea gone wrong, because a PlayStation Portable with a DualSense controller, despite not looking all that pretty, might be ergonomically amazing. Getting to have a real controller sort of takes away a lot of the major issues with handheld Switch Play, handheld Steam Deck, handheld ROG Ally. The controls there just never are quite good enough as compared to a true Pro controller, a DualSense, or an Xbox Series controller. This has a real true controller. It's Frankenstein together, but it can only play via Wi-Fi, and you must have a PS5. Now, I said that I thought this thing was going to cost like $300. It's an LCD screen, 1080p, 60 FPS, but they did put it at an awkward price point. At $99, this thing is like okay, this is really cool. At $199, it's weird. A Switch Lite is $199 and actually plays its own games, can leave the house, and can do plenty. The PlayStation Portal only can stream PS5 games from your PS5 Wi-Fi, so it's basically a mini second screen for your PlayStation 5 that you could play on your big TV. This puts it in a very strange ballpark where I personally don't think anyone is going to really want it. I think YouTubers will get it, tech reviewers will get it, some hardcore will get it, and some kids will get it because their parents for Christmas think that this is like Nintendo Switch but PlayStation, and they know their kid loves God of War and Uncharted and Spider-Man. Yeah, you can play all those games on this, but you must have a PS5. Effectively, the PlayStation Portal is not a $200 device because it does require a $400 purchase alongside it. If this was something where for $500 you got the PS5 and the Portal, now we're in a whole new ballgame, because now PlayStation is delivering the Switch experience almost at a price that is equivalent to what a home console with all sorts of crazy 4K capabilities costs. But at the way it is, the PlayStation Portal is like half a Switch. Yeah, it'll be half the price, but it's maybe even less than half of the capabilities. It requires another unit, and it requires that it's tethered to that unit via Wi-Fi. This sets up a weird scenario where I think Sony is going to take a huge loss on this again. Let me know what you think. I think it's kind of cool. I want to test it out to see how a controller ripped in half plays, but $200 just to play your games on a smaller second screen, the ones you already have a super expensive console to play, I don't quite get it. Imagine if Nintendo Switch was a system where it was tethered to the dock. It could not leave the dock out of Wi-Fi range. It only could play your games on Nintendo Switch, but portably in your house. Maybe Nintendo even initially started with that, given how the Wii U gamepad took shape, That kind of feels like a PlayStation Portal, doesn't it? But you couldn't play your games natively on the gamepad, you still needed the TV. I'm just really grateful that Nintendo went the full mile and were able to achieve technology that's truly hybrid and truly does switch. We can truly pull our Switch and take it with us, as opposed to as soon as you hit your front door, the PlayStation Portal, it goes into a portal and goes back to the desk. This thing literally can't leave your house, and it requires another humongous purchase that is double the price of itself. So despite it coming in at what I think is a decent price and under what I expected from Sony, but over what I think can be a one-off impulse purchase, the PlayStation Portal is not half of a Switch. It's more like a fifth of a Switch, or even less. And in fact, I think that the PlayStation Portal sets Nintendo up for even more crazy success. Because whereas the PlayStation Portal can play Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, and more, Nintendo Switch can play all of its games, by all accounts a bigger, more versatile catalog, and it can do it anywhere. And you don't need a home-based console. I mean, you get the dock, it comes with it, but you don't have to have a separate purchase. I think this is really awkward and really strange, and it takes something that could be super cool and competitive in the industry space and makes it a nothing burger. And Nintendo must be laughing because they know they're going to go sell 100 more million of the next Switch, and Sony will be lucky if they sell 1 million of these, I think. It could have been a cool console that plays PlayStation 5 games or unique Portal games as if it was the successor to the Vita. At one point, Sony was quite cool in the handheld space. The PSP was great. The Vita was really good as an indie machine. It just did not have the first-party backing or real big tentpole exclusive games. Now, the PlayStation Portal feels like a weird Xerox copy of the Switch gone wrong. A strange devolution of PlayStation Vita, and something that doesn't really appeal to anyone. The gamer this is for is the one who wants to play PlayStation in bed but doesn't have a TV in their room, or spends a bunch of time in the bathroom, or got kicked off the TV because their mom is too busy watching Love Island. I'm not sure who this appeals to. You can't take it anywhere, you must have a PlayStation, and it's a smaller screen. Albeit a nice one, albeit a controller, this feels like a luxury purchase, and something that Sony has been guilty of in the past is assuming that their super high-end, real cool, glitzy, pretty technology appeals to everyone. And I think PSVR 2 and its failure shows that that's not the case. PlayStation Portal is a cool idea gone bad. It's a cool thought conceptualized in the wrong way. It's a product with no purpose, and therefore Nintendo need not worry. And if you're curious about this, I would say don't be. It literally does nothing except transmit your games. If there's a way to hack it or load something else on it, maybe it becomes an emulation portal, I don't know. It does look like it's got a nice screen, and it will be interesting to see what a 1080p LCD screen looks like in 2023, because that is probably what we're getting for Nintendo Switch's next system. A 1080p LCD screen, all signs point to something of that sort. So this will be interesting for comparative purposes, but as a purchase, it's pretty poor. Let me know what you think of the Portal in the comments down below, and if you're glad that you're a Switch owner and not a PlayStation 1/6 Switch owner. Very strange. It makes me super glad Nintendo went the route they did, and I just fingers crossed that their revolutionary ideas changing the gaming industry do not involve going back on the hybrid style of Switch that makes it so cool and makes something like the PlayStation Portal go from, wow, that could be neat, to, are you kidding me? We have something way, way better. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, thanks again. SwitchForce out.